Today I'm going to discuss the Brahmin, or the highest caste in Hindu society. We're going to discuss what their caste means and actually some of the struggles they face today. The Brahmin represent 5% of the total population. One of the most haunting videos this semester was of the untouchables who had to clean the latrines. I realized, however, that a majority of my education about the caste system is focused on the lower rungs. So I decided to do this project on the highest rung, the Brahmins. This is the priest group in society or in their caste system. I actually found it very interesting that this group is actually facing discrimination and struggles today. The Brahmin are the priest caste in society. Because of this, they are generally very well educated, even if they do not actually become priests. They are also in charge of the spiritual enlightenment of the community. It is believed they sprang from Prajapati, or the creator of all things. Brahmin means one possessed of Brahma, or an undefined magical force in Hindu society. Generally, there are also unofficial alliances between Brahmin and the Kshatriyas, or the next lowest rung class, or the warrior class. Today's Brahmin differ in a few ways. They can hold many different professions and are very active in politics, sometimes being overrepresented. It is also interesting to note that they are still the only socially acceptable priest, even though it is illegal to discriminate based on caste. For a long time, they were getting the most help from government developmental programs, which is why it is also believed they got so far ahead. Brahmin women are also more educated than a majority of the other women in Hindu society. They all live their lives out by strict life cycle rituals defined by sacred texts and are vegetarians who also do not smoke or drink alcohol. There is some reverse casteism going on today. In fact, half the households that are considered Brahmin earn less than $100 a month, and most government programs are starting to focus on the lower castes. As well as a majority of jobs, especially government jobs, are also going to lower castes. These jobs were generally held by Brahmin before. This is actually causing some difficulty and discrimination towards Brahmin. There is even one account of a college student who recalls another student trying to rip a ceremonial thread from around his neck that he wore underneath his clothing. As the web offers many great resources, one of the most interesting parts of my research was finding people who are actually from India who are part of the Brahmin class talk about their experience. One account asserts that being a Brahmin means being ahead of the curve, always being on the cutting edge of education, technology, and the new industry to work in. It's interesting to note they cite the fact that the Brahmin were the first to learn English when the British settled, and therefore were the first to receive jobs from the British. One Brahmin from a large city notes that the caste is more important in more rural areas. In fact, he was only aware of his caste because he was told, and believed there were no actual societal indications. However, when his family traveled to rural communities, certain people wouldn't serve them water, but instead would get them soda, as they could not dream of serving someone of their caste water from their house. Other people did not want to sully their caste by eating with them. While these are common practices in Hindu, they weren't that common to this boy, since he had never been exposed to them previously. It's interesting to see how India develops and changes, and to see what role the caste system is going to take in the future. I would definitely recommend checking out some of the first-person perspectives from this website. as well as watching the video in the link